Daily trading recap for this Tuesday, the 25th of January, 2022. Again, no huge trades for me in the morning session. Not seeing a lot of anything that I was just so appealed to, whether in regards to morning dumpers or anything I wanted to get short or really anything to go long. SRRA offered a little bit of a dip and rip opportunity. You could call it that, but another day of just not A+, not anything invigorating or bonerific on the scanners today. SPY having a little sideways day-ish, still down 1%. It's showing on the day here, but could be bouncing a little bit off of that day. Yesterday it had huge volume. Looking at 250 million shares traded yesterday on the SPY. Absolutely insane. We'll see where we start to trend from here. Not that, but let's go to dollar volume on the day as of 33 minutes after the close here. NASDAQ, $306 billion volume. NYSE, $464 billion volume. OTC's, $2.7 billion volume on the day. Gonna keep this one nice and short and simple. Again, just nothing huge. Another day of learning, of getting away from the screens as much as I can, while also still keeping myself involved and just putting in the grind, putting in that time there. Taking one little trade short overnight here. CKPT. We'll get into that one a little bit. But start off with BTBD. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, wanting to be getting short this one. This was that crazy parabolic pre-market move yesterday. So coming into second day play today. Pretty much did a similar thing again, similar to BSFC on that second day, that you get to this pre-market open and just huge crazy spike, but then falls off again. And not as extravagant today on BTBD, but similar type of thing. Open a pre-market here, little huge spike, and pull back to that previous little close range it was trading at, and was watching this one. This is of everything that I was doing and keeping my eye on. I pulled up BTBD as, okay, this could be my best option on the day if I was going to trade anything, and could potentially fit in that range of like a C, B grade for something to me to actually trade. Because even if this is the best thing to trade, that doesn't make it a trade that I should actually take. But coming into this one, I do think the opportunity is there. So shoulda, coulda, woulda been taking it short starting in pre, but wanting to see if it did have any type of reclaim to VWAP there as a little morning volatility. Kind of using BSFC as a little margin or a little indicator for what could potentially have happened today on this one. Did have just like a little tiny perk, and then a little pullback short opportunity from there, which I kind of would have been more than fine with. That's 3.6 area to this thing popping all the way down back to $3, 20% move off of that, and then does surge back to VWAP there a little later post morning session volatility, but kind of leaning off of that a little bit, not expecting that same type of exact thing to repeat itself. But okay, do we get any amount of perking? Can we see any amount of topping? Maybe come to 3.4-ish range here, and then I can establish a short position and watch this thing fade off and fall, because I know the opportunity is certainly going to be there. And this is one of those that I could totally sense as just a degenerate trader myself, of kind of being obscured by the parabolicness of this chart, of the potential opportunity on the downside on this one. What a sleeper trade this could have been, because I'm watching this out of the gate for the morning session. Of course, nothing else is going on. This is really the only thing on my chart, and I'm kind of substituting my brain with other things to involve myself in, to just not go so crazy and start pushing buttons randomly. But of watching this price action, like, okay, whoa, it was just kind of widespreading, kind of printing randomly here and there. Not really a true opportunity to get short anywhere around this 3.3 area. But then sure enough, it starts to pull immediately, pretty much right there to that $3 level. And then it's just kind of holding here, 310. Okay, gosh, do I get short from here? Is this chasing at this point? We could see this thing just continue to fade and drop the whole morning session, and it wouldn't really be chasing at this point. And just going through those deliberations in my head, but just saying I'm willing to give this up now, even if it does continue to go, and then it still drops to $3 there. And then even at that point, again, raising the same questions of, do I think this thing could go to 2.7, give me a little 10% opportunity? Yeah, I could see that, but it's just not a awesome convicted entry spot for me. I would much rather have been sitting this thing in pre-market and just have been lucked out that the price action ended up working out this way. But sure enough, yeah, it does continue to drop there nicely to 2.7 from $3 level area. It does really nothing the rest of the day, just that morning opportunity. But it's a shoulda, coulda, woulda, but it's also acknowledging I'm willing to let that one go and give it up, and that is part of trading as well. The borrow fees were much lower today compared to yesterday. And I wrote the example in my journal here. It's of I'm much more fine with, I would rather be on the ground than wish I was in the air, versus being in the air wishing I was on the ground. Same thing that plays out a lot of times in the stock market here, of trades of being on the sidelines wishing you were in trades rather than being in trades wishing you were on the sidelines. Same thing there. As seen in, I wrote on 1014 here. Yeah, this is just crazy candle of what a position I would have been in there, as it's within 2 prints. It's going from 279 to 292, just pretty crazily for what that spread was. No, thank you. Don't want to be a part of it there at that point. So that was good on me for not chasing it or just trying to force more of the trade than was really there at those points. SRRA, first day play, I really did not like. And this is just another add to the journal as okay, well, I was wrong on this one, but I would more so like to see with these initial spikes that continuation of price or the actual filling out of the body of those candles for where they move off of that news catalyst today. I forget what the news catalyst was on this one, but lower floater, 5-6 million floater, American Biotech. News catalyst was proposed public offering of stock that comes out. No, that was after the close here. Let's see the whatever medical jargon. Statistically significant benefit on systems, anemia, and splenic size in the pivotal momentum study for myelofibrosis. Why? Whatever that means. But yeah, I even threw that in the awesome, beautiful opportunity and in hindsight, beautiful recognition of a morning dump chart pattern, a failure to maintain VWAP, using that as an entry for a short, watching the thing fade nicely. Even it was a low float, I think just staying out of that play. Just getting burned too many times with those lower floaters of sub 20 million floaters that, okay, yeah, I'm willing to let these ones go. But this SRRA may add to a collection that begins to change my mind on those and just continuing to blanket that pattern pretty much regardless of those floats, even if, not even factoring in if it's a sub million floater, then I'd be more leery on that, but not just getting so scared and shy away from these types of floats, even types of trades, even if they are low floats on that one. And I wanted to be short. I'll go into CKPT next here, but SRRA, another one that these first green days overnight into that second day, I really have been not providing any amount of squeeziness or just craziness, whether in after hours or the following pre-market. I do feel of the patterns I've recognized that they do end up dropping a nice opportunity, sometimes even 10 plus percentage points as a profit opportunity. It's saving me a day trade for those ones. So I'm trying to slam that pattern as much as I can, but for this one, very, very cheap borrow fees for the price of this stock as it is. But yeah, for that low float, I just don't feel comfortable as of yet doing this strategy going overnight one as compared to CKPT, which is a little bit different of a higher float, 60 to 80-ish million float, first day play, money losing American Biotech. News catalyst today was positive top line results for their medical jargon again, whatever that means. They do have also a shelf from December of 2020, little ATM action as well. Just choppy pre-market action here. Again, these weird spikes that I don't want to be a part of, and they don't fit that little mold that I've created for that playbook trade of a morning dump of shorting at that failure to maintain VWAP. So not getting a part of it there and just watching it do just peter and weirding out whatever it wants to do in pre, coming into market hours, just really providing nothing. Call it a little dip and rip, double bottom there, opportunity as it reclaims the VWAP. But then just sideways pretty much the rest of the day. Has a little attempt to break to the upside there to create new high day market hours, but then pulls back. And then I get very, very lucky with my first entry here going short. Reserve 300 shares, using that as a size I'm comfortable with to take overnight. I certainly want to be sizing up more if this pattern proves true, which I've got the charts to say that it is, but obviously trading it real versus just having the charts to say that it is real. The back testing can always be 100% correct or flawless, but it's the real trading where the rubber hits the road that can still sideswipe you at times. And it's shorting overnight, having to be careful and respect that as well too. So using that as an indicator, I got very lucky with that first short starting in of, continuing to fine tune this little strategy of, okay, do I wait till market close to begin that short to hold this overnight, or should I start 15 minutes before the close if I find any type of little peaking price action? Should I start into there with this first entry here of 100 shares, 150 shares that I started in, like half of the 150 shares because it was half of those shares I reserved, 249. It just immediately started to fall off and look super weak into the close, and I was like, oh, sweet, awesome. Completely lucked out on that, and it was almost immediately after I put in that order that I just saw a huge flock of red prints come and start to break that, like 248, starts to push to 247. was like, whoa, sweet, I'm a genius. This is all you got to do. You just push buttons and you make money in the stock market. And then this minute before the close just starts printing huge volume coming in. So whether that's short covering or what kind of behind the scenes action was going on there to push that, certainly kept me on my toes. And it wasn't pressing 2.5 for hard or very long. I think it was just some flushing out or some figuring out the details of some trades there, as most stocks tend to do. That did produce that huge volume right before the close on that one. So nothing to be widely afraid of. And from my position of power, being able to sit in that of recognize, okay, this is crazy, but if it goes any more crazy, then it is a totally different situation than what I started in on. So I'll let it do and be its crazy, even if it is a fake out, and waste the day trade. But certainly sitting pretty nice now for filling out 200 shares, and I think I'm going to end up being comfortable with that for where it's sitting 242. If it does start to push this 252, I think I would be looking to potentially cut just for, because I know it wouldn't potentially squeeze or go crazy against me, but I'm not looking for this thing to be lingering around higher or any longer, because then it could just end up being, okay, even if this thing goes and trends to 255, 2578, coming into tomorrow, it just becomes a losing trade, and it's just more mind-numbing than really, it's a wasting of the potential mental capital there than really anything else. And okay, this was chalk it up as one failure on this type of playbook trade that I'm trying to categorize, versus save the mental capital and just be free and ready to perceive what's going on tomorrow. So we'll see where this one ends up. I'm not expecting this one to be a home run or an awesome slam dunk as an overnight, but certainly looking to capitalize on for where I'm at right now with this PDT situation of, hey, let's get as much of these charts as we can. And should these trades start to work out, like absolutely 100% go hard after, because that's 100% the best way to capitalize the use of resources I have with this PDT account of saving the day trades and using that to my advantage. 2474 average I'm sitting at now. Not using any real indicator for how price action is trading, or like watching the level 2 or time and sales like a hawk as of right now, and not doing that whatsoever, and just becoming so like murder plot mystery craziness with like the little red strings going across my wall of trying to figure out what the price action is and where the specific levels are. It's after hours trading. It's weird. It's random. But not expecting this one to be an awesome, huge, maybe not even get to 10% profit opportunity. 224, that would be 223, maybe even from there. So that is a kind of a big ask for this to see this thing drop off all the way to there, but it certainly could happen. I don't think it's going to spike against me. So that's really what I'm playing off of for the more profit potential opportunity charts on these types of plays, of risking the higher probability chance of it going in my favor that way, as compared to the awesome risk reward opportunity on any of these trades. So that's CKP. I cannot get that one right. CKPT. There we go. Got it right. Just got to slow it down a little bit. And then just last one I wanted to mention quickly to wrap it up. BBIG, a first screen day. I think I've just got to get more experience on these ones. Didn't trade it at all, but I think I need to get more experience and reps on what a first screen day play is, because I'm watching this one yesterday for a first screen day after it had these huge successions of actual red days. 3 red days in a row, and then fourth day, or yesterday, ended up being a kind of wishy-washy V day. Whereas Huddy comes into this one today of, this is the easiest, most awesome trade that I've ever seen in my life. I get a 293, sell into this little push here at 3.3. Awesome trade. I just made $1,000 million, and I'm just going to go to the Caribbean and spend the rest of my life there. It was like, okay, I can recognize and see as it's spiking here. I wasn't watching this one whatsoever, so I can't necessarily say that I wasn't seeing that. But in pulling up of, okay, I can recognize how you were seeing that in live time, but of the plotting that out as a plan, is that what the first screen day pattern is? Of you kind of just had a weird attempt day yesterday, and he's talking about using the red to green line there as a potential from his entry point here of 293 of, okay, as it's turning green from the close of the previous trading day, using that as a point of a trade of, I'm just kind of throwing spitballs ideas, but just to see it spiking here randomly, I throw it up to a little bit of chance almost that it did perk that hard. And maybe I'm totally wrong, but I guess I just do need more experience or just more studying time of what that actual pattern is. But I can totally recognize the awesome opportunity there, and we'll certainly add that to my playbook, using that as a platform or ideology for this type of trade in the future. Good chart to keep in a memory book there on BBIG. And that's really all I got. Nothing else hard on my watch list to keep overnight or to keep watch on for tomorrow for me, but continuing this grind and continuing not to waste mental capital that I don't need to, but also just recognizing, hey, let's continue to put more time in and live in the now, understand that the market doesn't always have to be like this, but recognize that there's always opportunity to make money as well. So experimenting with ourselves and using the time that we have to do what we can with what we have. That is all I have. I sincerely thank you guys for watching. We will catch you guys on the next one.